asked me how my day had been, and I talked about traffic work, some silly things. You nodded, said that's nice, while your heart was fighting to breathe. You held it in so well, like I taught you to be strong. But I should've noticed you'd been quiet for too long. The way your hands trembled when you poured the tea, the way you laughed too quickly, trying to distract me. But I didn't ask twice, didn't stay late. I kissed your forehead, then left you with the weight. You were crying while I couldn't see, right in front of me. I missed the storm in your eyes, too caught up in my own life. You were breaking in the dark while I kept calling it a phase. Now I trade every word I said to go back and wipe your face. But I was blind, too selfish to be, and you were crying while I couldn't see. You said you were just tired, that your head hurt sometimes. I said get some rest and change the subject like I was fine. Now I hear your voice in the silence of the room. I see your tears in the way I wake up too soon. You weren't asking for miracles, just someone to look close. But I gave you distance when you needed me most. Your messages got shorter, your laugh came late, and I still missed what now feels like fate. You were crying while I couldn't see, right beside me quietly. I thought your silence meant peace, but you were begging me to see all the cracks I chose to ignore, all the nights you cried on the floor. Now I hold every memory of you crying while I couldn't see. I wasn't cruel, just unaware, but now that I know it's too much to bear, I'd give my voice to go back and hear the tears you never let appear. You were crying while I couldn't see, and I was loving you carelessly. Now I search for you in old text, trying to read what I missed next. You left with a smile to protect me from pain, but I would have rather you screamed in the rain, 'cause the quiet cut deeper in me, knowing you cried while I couldn't see. So now when I smile, it's never complete, because love failed when it chose to retreat. I whisper sorry to an empty seat for every time I couldn't see. Your fingers brushed your coat, I knew you were cold, but I stayed frozen, didn't move, didn't hold. You turned once, eyes searching mine. I had a chance to redraw the line, but my pride stood tall while your heart broke small. I kept pretending I'd done nothing at all. Now watch that moment every time I close my eyes, the version where I reach and the one where I stand by. You didn't need answers, just a reason not to leave, but I gave you silence when love needed belief. The hand I couldn't hold still haunts me in the dark, like a fire that I ignored. Now I carry the spark. You were slipping and I knew, but I stood quiet like fools do. I didn't say don't go, didn't grab you back, and now forever feels like what I lack. I see it clear, so cold, the hand I couldn't hold. Now I reach for things that don't exist. Your old shirt, your touch I miss. My phone lights up, but not with you, and every message feels untrue. I walk past strangers, but see your face in quiet corners and crowded space. I would give anything to rewind that day, to stop pretending I was okay. I thought love would know my heart, but I learned too late. It needs a start. The hand I couldn't hold was reaching out for mine, but I chose fear instead of crossing the line. Now every night I lift my hand into the air like you still stand, but all I feel is empty space where love once lived and left no trace. I still remember that moment bold, the hand I couldn't hold. If I had just moved, if I had just tried, maybe you'd be still here by my side. But I blinked and you were gone, a breath too late, and I was alone. The hand I couldn't hold is the weight I wear, a simple reach that wasn't there. You weren't asking for forever, just for someone to say never. Never let you walk away, never leave that end untold. But I stood still, the hand I couldn't hold. So now I hold regret instead of you, your warmth, the words I never said. And maybe love still could unfold, but not for the hand I couldn't hold. Your laugh still plays like background noise. Even silence carries your voice. I fold my clothes the way you did. Keep your toothbrush like a secret I hid. I pour 2 cups, then drink just one. It's been months, but you're not gone. Every street I walk is the path we knew. Every mirror shows me with you. I tell myself I'm moving on, but my heart is somewhere long gone. I'm lost in my memories where we never said goodbye, where your hand still holds mine and your smile never lies. I play those moments like they're new, 'cause it's the only place I still have you. The world turns, but I don't see. I'm just here, lost in my memories. Your old hoodie still hangs by the door. I wore it last night and wanted more. I passed the station where we'd wait in cold. It's just a building, but it feels like gold. I laugh at jokes you would've loved, then realize you're not above. Even love songs feel like ours. Even strangers walk with your scars. I don't live, I just rewind, searching for you I'll never find. I'm lost in my memories where you still say my name, where we argue and laugh and nothing ever changed. I freeze the good, ignore the fall. I replay us to feel at all. The sun comes up, but not for me. I'm still there, lost in my memory. So don't come find me, don't try to save. I'm with you in the past we made, and maybe that's where I was meant to be. Lost in my memories. We didn't say goodbye like it meant the end. Just said talk soon, like lovers, like friends. We made plans that we never kept, and in between a silence crept. You left your sweater on my chair. I thought you'd come to get it there, but days passed by like falling sand, and suddenly you slipped from my hands. I didn't know that moment was our last sun. Now I replay it for what I could have done. Time that'll never return burns more than I thought I'd learn. It's the way your voice still calls my name in dreams where everything feels the same. But morning comes and you're not there, just the ghost of once you cared. I'm stuck in the echoes I can't unlearn, chasing a time that'll never return. I passed that cafe we always chose, they changed the lights, but I still froze. I sat alone in your usual seat, pretending our knees would accidentally meet. I ordered your drink like some kind of ride, but it didn't taste even close to right. People move on like it's a train, but I stand in the pouring rain. All the photos blur with years, but your goodbye still sounds so near. Time that'll never return isn't kind when your heart still burns. You left behind no big goodbye, just a silence I still live by. Now I wear what I should have said like a coat too heavy to shed. No matter how much my memories yearn, you're part of a time that'll never return. I don't wanna rewind, just wanna relive one moment where I had more to give. But clocks don't beg and calendars lie. They keep moving while I stay behind. Time that'll never return taught me love can crash and turn, that what we hold can slip through hands while we're too lost to understand. Now every sunset feels like a sign of something beautiful that wasn't mine. And I breathe but never learn how to stop loving time that won't return. So I keep walking through shadows and sun, holding a love that came undone. And every heartbeat takes its turn, longing for time that'll never return. You made coffee just the way I liked, left notes on mirrors, small, kind and light. You'd wait for me even when I was late, and smile like you didn't mind the wait. I'd say later when you asked to talk, chose my silence over a midnight walk. And now your silence is all I hear. I learned to miss you when you weren't near. It wasn't some crash or sudden fall, it was losing you by ignoring it all. hearts can break when no one's there. I thought you'd always wait around, but love gets tired of not being found. Now I say the things you needed then, but I say them to the wind again. You stopped asking if I was okay, maybe 'cause I just turned away. You once said we don't talk like before, and I nodded, then shut the door. I thought we were fine in our quiet space, but you were slipping out of that place. And I kept living as if love just stays, but it drifts when no one prays. Now I see the signs so painfully clear. You begged for closeness, I gave you fear. I realized too late what I should have known, that love needs light, not time alone. I should have listened, should have held your hand, but I was too proud to understand. Now I watch as you move on, while I hold on to what's already gone. There's no rewind, no second start, just memories and a heavy heart. You don't hate me, you just left, and somehow that hurts the best. I realized too late that love can fade when effort slips and words betray. If I could go back, I'd change the pace, but now I just chase your shadows to race. You were my once, now you're my ache, and I realized much too late. So if you ever think of me, know I learned eventually, but that doesn't bring you back to me. I just realized too late. We were sitting in your car, windows fogged, street lights far. You looked at me and said hello, one word that made me let you go. I thought you'd say let's try again, but instead you whispered goodbye, and then everything shattered quietly. So I nodded like I didn't know, but that word rang for days in every song, in strangers' gaze. It wasn't long, it wasn't loud, but it cut through every crowd. That one word I can't forget still lingers like a cold regret. You didn't scream, you didn't plead, just one word was all I need. And I keep hearing every night, like it's stuck in wrong and right. It haunts the spaces you once filled, that one word that time can't kill. I've forgotten your coat, the one you wore in spring. I've lost the sound of your phone's ring, but that word still echoes clear, like you're still standing near. It finds me when I'm doing fine, in supermarket aisles or closing blinds. Friends ask how I'm doing these days. I smile and say I found new ways, but deep inside in the quiet set I relive that word I can't forget. It's not your name or something long, it's short and sharp and always wrong. That one word I can't forget still burns like a hidden debt. You left me with no debate, just one word to seal our fate. I've moved on but not past that. It's carved in stone where my heart's set. I hear it still when the world is quiet. That one word I still fight it. I wish you'd yelled or slammed the door, 'cause silence hurts even more. One syllable that broke the chain. No thunder, just soft rain. That one word I can't forget, even though we've never met. In months or years since you left, you're still that voice inside my chest. They say we heal at time will set, but not from the word I can't forget. So I breathe around it, I live despite it, but no matter what I can't rewrite it. That one word you said then left still lives in me, and I can't forget. It wasn't a scream, it wasn't a fight. You just looked tired of being not quite right. You stood at the door, hoping for a pause. I gave you space, thinking that's what love was. But space became silence, and silence goodbye. And I've been stuck ever since you walked by. I should have reached, should have run, not stayed, but I let you leave without a word to say. You weren't asking for me to fix, just to notice that we were breaking bit by bit. If I had held you back then, would you still be here again? If I had grabbed your hand instead of pretending to understand. If I had said don't go yet instead of letting my fears forget. Would we have made it past that night, or was it already out of sight? Your coat was thin, it was cold that day. I remember thinking I should ask you to stay, but pride is a quiet killer and mine was loud. I watched you leave and join the crowd. Now I say I'm fine to those who ask, but I'd give anything to go back to that tiny window where love could have been saved with just one sentence I never gave. Didn't need to beg or bend the sky, just to try before goodbye. If I had held you back then, not just in thought but with both hands. If I had shown I was scared too, would that have been enough for you? If I had cried in front of you and let the truth finally break through, would you have paused, looked at me, and stayed for one more memory? Maybe it wouldn't change a thing, maybe you still had to go, but I live with this what if that I'll never fully know. They say love fades, but mine just bent, and every what if became cement. If I had held you back then, maybe you'd still call me your friend, or maybe 'cause the one thing that breaks me again is I didn't hold you back then. So I walk these streets alone with when, always thinking if I had held you back then. Your bag was packed, your eyes still waited for one last reason not to leave. You paused at the door, I felt my heart race, but I bit my tongue and watched you erase. I thought love would find its way, that if I let go, you might choose to stay. But letting go was the loudest no, and now I see how much I didn't know. It wasn't a storm, it was a slow goodbye, and I kept silent while watching us die. I should've held on, should've said don't go, should've dropped my pride and let the truth show. I thought I'd be fine, thought you'd come back, but you needed love, not space to unpack. I gave you freedom when you needed arms. Now I sit here with all the harm. You were slipping and I stayed still. I should've held on, and I always will. I scroll through photos we never framed. Every smile feels like blame. You asked me softly, are we okay? I shrugged it off when I should have begged you to stay. You weren't asking for magic, just someone to try, but I stayed quiet and let you cry. Now I replay each moment missed, the words I didn't say, the chance I dismissed. You didn't need distance, you needed me close, but I gave you silence when love needed most. I should've held on to your shaking voice, should've made the harder but better choice. Should've said I'm scared too, I should've said but I still need you. Now I sleep in a colder bed with only the echoes of what I never said. You were fading, but I looked on. I should've held on, but now you're gone. Some losses aren't loud or cruel, they're made of minutes where I played the fool. If love is action, then I froze in fear and you walked away while I stood here. I should've held on tighter, sooner true. Should've told you I choose you, not waited for signs, not waited for pain. I should've run through the rain. Now I carry this quiet dawn where I wake up, but you're gone. So if love returns in someone new, I'll remember what I didn't do. But with you, it's too far gone, still in my heart. I should've held on. You were standing at the edge of goodbye. I should've reached, but I let you slide by. I thought we'd talk again, maybe next week, but weeks became silence and silence turned bleak. I kept our photos, but not in frames. They're tucked in a drawer, so I don't take the blame. Your toothbrush stayed for a month or two, like it held the last piece of you. I tell myself it's for the best, but my heart still argues without rest. I know I can't go back, can't rewind the past, but if I could, I'd make the good last. I'd say what I meant, not what I thought I should. I'd fight for you like I never could, but time's moved on and you're not here. Only draw you near. So I sit with the truth that hits like a crash. I know I can't go back, but I still look back. I pass our street almost every day. I slow down the car, then look away. Your favorite song plays at random, and for 3 short minutes I come undone. I check your profile but never like, pretending I'm fine while gripping the mic. Everyone says you seem okay, but they don't know what I didn't say. It's not about pride or who's to blame. It's knowing I lost you by staying the same. I know I can't go back, even if I ache and if I dream. With every breath I take, I'd undo the silence, I'd break the cold. But the page is turned and the story's old. Now you're a name that I say too soft, like love was mine but never enough. And here I am trying to unpack that. I know I can't go back, but I still look back. Maybe some doors aren't meant to open twice. Maybe some hearts learn too late to be nice. If I see you down the line, I'll smile but lie and say I'm fine. I know I can't go back. I've rehearsed the truth, but that doesn't stop the missing of you. The clock won't turn, the stars won't track. What we had is what we lack. Still I whisper in the quiet black. I know I can't go back, but I want you back. So I let you live in the songs I lack. You're the love I lost in the past. I can't go back. I ate lunch at our old place. Didn't mean to. I was just hungry, but they played your favorite tune. I smiled at first, then looked away, 'cause suddenly it wasn't just a normal day. Your laugh came back from someone's voice, not yours, but close enough to notice the void. I finished my coffee, left it half warm, 'cause memories taste different when you're gone. I don't break every morning or cry through the night, but on days I miss you, even breathing feels tight. On days I miss you, it comes out of nowhere, like turning a street and finding you there. I reach for my phone, forget you won't text, then hold it like I'm holding regrets. It's not constant, but when it hits true, I'm completely undone. On days I miss you. I passed by a girl wearing your coat. For a second I waved, then swallowed the hope. I hear our songs, but I don't skip. I listen in silence and let the tears drip. My friends ask, how have you been? I say I'm good, but don't explain when. 'Cause how do I say you're not always on my mind? But when you are, it leaves me blind. It's not always thunder, sometimes just rain, softly falling, but still full of pain. On days I time feels slow, like it's waiting for you to show. I talk to myself more than I should, saying things you'd once understood. It's not daily, but when it comes through, the world turns quiet on days I miss you. Maybe I've healed, maybe I've grown, but grief still knows the way back home. You live in places I didn't plan, like in the scent of worn down hands. On days I miss you, I let it stay, let the ache have its way. There's no fix, no reason to hide. I miss you softly with all my pride. You were my always, even if we're through, and I'm still yours on days I miss you. So if the sky looks a little more blue, it's probably one of those days I miss you. We laughed about nothing, walk without rush. I took your hand like it was just lunch. You tied your hair the way you always do. You said see you later, and I believed you. There was no goodbye, no final tone, just a moment I thought was my own. But now I hold it like a fading frame, that one small day I can't reclaim. No countdown, no sign, just slipped away. Now all I have is a ghost of that day. A day that won't come again, just once, not now, not then. If I had known, I would have stayed, would have memorized the smile you made. It wasn't grand, it wasn't planned, but it was us hand in hand. Now time moves on like it never began, but I still live in that one day span. I wore the same coat 2 weeks too long, thinking maybe it'd keep you strong. Your coffee cup still by the sink, I wash it slow just so I don't think. The playlist we made keeps showing up, and every note refills my cup. I used to skip the quiet parts, now they echo inside my heart. You didn't leave loud, didn't break the sky, but my world split quietly dry. A day that won't come again, no rewind, no amend. I didn't take a single photo, but it plays like my shadow. The breeze we felt still lingers near, but not enough to bring you here. I walk through time like I pretend, but I'm still back at that day's end. Would I change it if I could? Say more, hug longer, stand where you stood. Maybe it's not about what I missed, but knowing that day was quietly kissed. A day that won't like ink that fades from a pen. I close my eyes and there you stay, locked forever in one warm day. The world won't pause, it won't bend, but in my heart that day won't end. So if you ask where I've been, still in a day that won't come again. I saw the silence in your eyes. I knew it was ending, but I told no lies. I could have said, don't go yet. I could have asked, can we reset? But I stood still, swallowed the storm, hoping you'd read what I couldn't perform. The room was quiet, but my heart screamed. Still not a single feeling redeemed. Pride or fear, what held me back? I watched us crash without a track. These are the words left unsaid. The I miss you stuck in my head. The I'm sorry that never came out. The don't leave lost in the doubt. I could have begged, I could have tried, but I let go and never cried. Now all I hold are things I never said, and a love that quietly bled. Your coat by the door, you waited a beat, maybe hoping I'd say don't leave, but I just nodded like it was fine, like I wasn't falling behind. I meant to call that night you left, but I held the phone and lost my breath. You posted a smile, I said good for you, but deep down I wished you knew. I rehearsed now what I never said, but you're long gone and love has fled. These are the words left unsaid. The I need you hanging like thread. The don't forget me I never voiced. The silence I made like I had a choice. Now it's too late, you've moved ahead, and I'm still haunted by words left unsaid. I dream sometimes that I go back, open my mouth before things crack, say all the things I meant that day, but wake up still too far away. So here's to the words left unsaid. The forgive me trapped in my head. The you're my only I never gave. The stay with me I couldn't save. You deserve truth and love instead, but all I gave were words left cherry blossoms fell like soft goodbyes. You smiled at me, but there were tears in your eyes. You didn't explain, you just turned around while petals danced without a sound. Since then spring feels wrong to me, too pink, too warm for how cold I can be. I wait for seasons to wash you away. They all still whisper the things you didn't say. Every sentence, every breeze pulls me back to your sleeve, to that final walk when you chose to leave. The season you left still lingers on, though the days move past, the pain stays strong. You became the wind, I can't forget. The season changed, but you haven't left yet. I carry your name like fallen rain. In every blossom, there's still your stain. I try to smile when flowers bloom, but deep inside it feels like gloom. The bench we shared still sits in light, but I avoid it every night. You said let's not cry, just breathe. But how do you breathe when love's to see? You didn't break me, not all at once, but each season you still haunt. The season you left plays on repeat. Same street, same sun, same empty seat. They say time heals, but time's too kind. It left your shadow still tied to mine. And when the air turns soft and wet, I feel it again. You haven't left yet. Would it be easier if you left in snow? If the world outside had matched my wall, but you left with color, with birds in flight. So now spring hurts more than night. The season you left was made to bloom, but for me it became a quiet tomb. You were the light and the regret. You're still the season I can't forget. So when petals fall, I look away, still stuck in the season you walked away. You walked away on a Tuesday rain. Said you'd call me later, but you never came. The coffee turned cold, the streetlight blinked, and I just stood too numb to think. You didn't cry, you didn't yell, you just said this is farewell. I laughed at first like it was a joke, but you faded slow like disappearing smoke. Now it's months or more, but I'm still there. In that moment when you stop caring, I'm still stuck in that day where your eyes turned gray, where my words fell short and you walked away. The world moved on, but I stayed behind, replaying that hour inside my mind. I've changed my hair, I've moved my place, but I'm still stuck in your last phase. I work, I eat, I even smile, but it all feels fake. Every once in a while I see your name on someone's to that need. I open drawers and there you are. You send your notes, my internal scar. They say to heal I must let go, but they weren't there when time said no. I tell my friends I'm almost fine, but my heart still draws your line. I'm still stuck in that day when you looked away, when silence said what words couldn't say. The calendar flipped, but I froze inside, still waiting where you said goodbye. I dress for now, but I live in May. I'm still stuck in that one day. What if I said more? What if I cried? Would it have changed how you said goodbye? But I just watched you disappear. Now even memories don't feel clear. I'm still stuck in that day and I don't know the way to walk ahead without replay. My body moves, but not my soul. You took the sun and left this cold. I breathe and sleep and I still pray, but I'm still stuck in that day. So if you wonder why I fade, it's 'cause I never left that day. I changed my room, moved the frames, but your laugh still whispers my name. Your coffee mug still on the shelf. I reach for it like I'm someone else. The night you left still plays like film, too sharp, too loud, too real to still. I thought memories fade like photographs do, but mine keep developing you. These memories are too clear. I still hear you here, the way you sighed, the way you disappeared. Every good night still rings in my ear. I wanna forget, but you're always near. No blur, no haze, no fading years, just you and memories too clear. I change my number but still wait for a call. I don't go places where you might walk the hall. Your jacket still hangs by the door. I touch it sometimes then hate me more. I see your shadow in passing cars, like you're still close but always far. I even begged sleep to pull you away, but you show up in dreams anyway. These memories are too clear. They cut more than a tear. I say I'm fine, but lie every year. You left, I stayed with love turned to fear. I'm drowning in, and memories too clear. Maybe forgetting would feel like a crime, but remembering steals all my time. And if one day they finally blur, I don't know if that's better or worse, 'cause these memories are too clear. Each smile, each cheer, your last goodbye still feels so near. I live with ghosts that reappear, all because my heart can't smear the truth. So I keep pretending you're not still here. But love like ours refuses to disappear. Too sharp, too close, too clear. You left with a smile. I said see you soon. We didn't know that was our final tune. I didn't hug you longer, didn't say what I meant, thinking tomorrow would come and mend. I scrolled through your messages just one more time, looking for signs that weren't really mine. You didn't cry, you didn't pause, but now I feel everything we lost. The last goodbye was too quiet to hear. No final words, no falling tear. I thought I had more time by your side, but life moved on without a guide. And now I stand alone and dry, wishing I knew that was the last goodbye. I walk by the cafe you used to wait. The chair's still there, but I'm always late. I check my phone like something might ring, but it's just silence that memories bring. I see your photos, but skip past your face, 'cause looking too long feels like a waste. Not of time, but of heart, 'cause I knew too late you were my start. If I could rewind just one day, I'd hold you tight and beg you to stay. But the last goodbye came soft and small. No dramatic scene, no final call. You closed the door like it would reopen, but some goodbyes leave hearts broken. I didn't know how much I'd cry, wishing I changed our last goodbye. Maybe we always say goodbye too late. Maybe love ends before we know it's fate. But I would trade all words I've said for one more minute before we were dead. So now I live with what I missed. Your final breath, a ghost I kissed. No one warns you when love can die. They just leave you with the last goodbye. I thought I had more time, so I stayed quiet. Took your love for granted, treated peace like a riot. You asked me once, are you really here? I laughed now that echoes clear. You held on gently, I held on wrong. Now you're a silence where you once belonged. And if regret had a clock, I'd turn it slow back to the night I let you go. If I could go back to your waiting eyes, I'd run instead of pause, speak instead of hide. I'd hold your hand like I knew its worth, fight for the love I once made hurt. It's too late now, but in my chest it cracks every single day. I wish I could go back. Your toothbrush stayed for weeks too long. I stared at it, pretending I was strong. Your message faded, I never replied, thinking distance would make the pain subside. But it grew louder with every day. Your empty space still blocks my way. I see your street and cross the lane, like maybe you'll be there still saying my name. If I could go back to our last goodbye, I'd stop you from walking with just one try. I'd say what I meant, not what I rehearsed. Kiss you like I knew I was cursed. It's too late now, but the weight still stacks. Every night I break, wishing I could go back. I'd sit with you longer, turn off my pride, say I'm scared too instead of hiding inside. You deserved answers, you deserved more, and all I gave you was a closing door. If I could go back to just one day, I'd choose the one where I let you walk away and change the ending, erase the cracks, just to love you right. If I could go back, but I can't, so I live with that. Me, the fool, wishing to go back.